Shannon, do you believe this was intentional?
Yeah, it was. I mean, all that court, and somehow you managed to step on the guy's ankle. You happen to step on a guy's ankle that's injured with all that court available. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows because this guy has a history. And everybody knows that, Skip. Everybody knows he has a history. It started early in the game, Skip. They were jawing at the line. This is what I don't get. I didn't see any of this in game one. I didn't see it in game two. I didn't see it game Sunday. I mean, in the game Sunday. Now, last night, Skip Bayless tell me he hates front runners. And I ain't seen anybody front run more than the Clippers. Pat Beverly, oh, he doing the centipede. Oh, he doing the bottle flip. He got so much to say. Everybody just high-five and they kick it up. They cockroach it, kicking it left. Boy, we got it going. But just the other night, Skip Bayless said, I don't hate those front runners. I mean, people just blowing up my timeline. You hear what Skip saying? Oh, he hate front running. Oh, front running LeBron James.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about him in just a few minutes here on this show. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it was a dirty play. It was an unnecessary play. And as I said before, Marcus Morris has a history of this type of behavior. He can miss me with that. I play the game with integrity. I play the game the right way. Everybody knows your history, your pattern of behavior, which you've exhibited in your 10-year NBA career. That's factual. It's okay. You did it. You tried to be sneaky about it, but that's the thing about Skip. Now with the way television is, they have cameras on everything. You can't get away with anything.
Good point.
You remember back in the day, Skip, guys would do things.
No, I agree.
Oh, he did it. Well, I don't see it on tape. Yeah. Now there are so many cameras, even in the bubble. They have they have the cameras that run along the sideline, give you an up-close view, just like you were sitting in the stands. So for me, Skip, this was an intentional act. And it marred what was a great game by the Clippers. They played unbelievable. And Skip, let me tell you what happens. If you shoot 22 or 35 from the three-point line and you shoot 53 for 84 from the field, you're probably going to blow the team out unless they shoot 30 for 40 from the three-point line.
Clippers playoff records. Yes.
Everything.
Okay.
Most points in the half, most points in the game, best three-point percentage, best field goal percentage. When you have those type of numbers in a playoff game, Skip, you're going to blow the team out. This was unnecessary by Morris. I believe it was an intentional act. He can say, okay, how about this, Skip? It was an intentional act. I'll leave it at that.
And I will buy that. Even though on Twitter after the game, Marcus Morris posted, to think I would try to injure somebody is crazy to me. That's what he posted.
Yeah.
Went on to all the things you just said. I play the right way, 10 years going up against the best. I stand on morals and I stand on hard work. I compete and I leave it out there every game. He does.
Yes.
He goes on to say, basketball has never been that serious to try to hurt somebody. I'm not apologizing for bleep because I know what I put into the game day in and day out. It was a mistake. Deal with it. So he's saying he accidentally stepped on the foot. But I'm going to go with you because Marcus Morris is obviously an emerging team leader. He just joined the team a few months back at the trade deadline.
Right.
And yet he's always been a tough guy. He has some enforcer in him. And I believe he was enforcing against Luka Doncic.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you why he was enforcing. Because Luka, more than ever, at the start of this game, is whining over every call. I mean, every single call, he's whining to the refs. He's walking up the court or running up the court with the referee, trying to talk him out of or into a call that he's going to get.
Luka said, I'm a superstar now.
I'm a superstar. Even the half ended with him walking off the floor, talking to another one of the referees. After a while, I tweeted, just play. Just play. It's okay. You can argue one call or two calls, but don't whine every time. Every single call in that game was a whine after the call. So this is, again, they got physical with him. And by the way, after I campaigned on Monday that you have to occasionally just throw him a curveball and trap him. They trapped him some. They did. Yes. At half court with some of the bigs they would run at him and just say, no,
get the ball out of his hands.
You got to give it up.
Yep.
And he gives it up because he's a passer by nature.
Right.
He's like LeBron. He's born to pass the basketball. He only wound up with 4 assists last night. And by the way, He had one of those shooting nights that is regrettable because what did he wind up?
6 of 17,
6 of 17, 1 of 6 from 3. And did you notice his first three-point attempt of the night? It hit nothing but air. Yeah. Another air ball. So he shot 3 air balls on Sunday and another air ball last night, 1 for 6. And I don't want to bring this up because I talk about the regular season, but no, just in the bubble. Well, no, just in the playoffs so far. He's making a grand total of 34%, which for him is actually a hot streak.
That's pretty good.
That ranks 69th of 84 three-point shooters in the playoffs, which is pretty terrible. That's tied for 7th most misses. Free throws, he's down to 68%. He missed 5 more last night. He has missed the most free throws of anybody in the bubble. But now let's get to the flashpoint that was underreported last night in this game. Speaking of camera angles, they're everywhere. It sees and knows all, the cameras. Could we please see what happened in a play late in the first quarter to Reggie Jackson underneath the basket thanks to Luka Doncic? Can we see this play? Here's the first part of it. You can just see it in fast motion. 3-point shot. Luka goes in, and you don't really see it, but Reggie Jackson gets cold-cocked in the back of the head by Luka. Here it is. Look at that. He just takes a swing at him and hits him in the back of the head.
I was wondering why it was down. I was like, did somebody crash into it?
Nope. Luka took a swing, and it was very calculated and camouflaged, but he basically just pops him in the back of the head. The overhead view really shows it much better. Here he goes. Luka, we can't really see it that way. Here's the one. See, he just took a swing at him and hit him in the back of the head, and Reggie just crashes out of bounds on his back. And first I thought he hit his back of his head on the hardwood.
That's what I thought.
But no, he just took up a little rabbit punch, a little shot in the back of the head from
Luka. And guess who was on the floor when that happened? Marcus Morris.
Yes.
Guess who had a good angle to see what happened?
He did.
Marcus Morris.
Okay.
And if you say what you say is true, he's the enforcer.
Okay.
What's he going to do?
He is going to retaliate. As soon as he gets a clear, open shot, a little subtle from behind, I'm going to step on your injured ankle, which is also leading to some Achilles issues. And I'm going to step on you. And again, do I have a huge problem? I do not. That's the way this game is played. And when he says he plays the right way, that's actually how this game has always been played.
Well, Skip, that's kind of like, that's hockey. That, you know, you got your enforcer, you got your goons, that if you mess with the Lemieux or you mess with the Gretzkys, you're going to have to deal, the Sidney Crosby, you're going to have to deal with the team's enforcer. Now, Skip, this goes back. You remember Kawhi had that injured ankle, and you named the guy, Zaza Pacheep shot.
He did.
He did that intentionally, didn't he?
He slid a size, 17?
He did.
A size 17, he slid it right underneath Kawhi as he came down from a jump shot, and actually
he landed on it, and boom. Kawhi has an injured ankle. He was like, well, I was just going to contest. No, you didn't.
And remember, that was the third quarter of game 1 in which they were ahead by 23 or something like that. And they lost the lead and lost the game, lost the series. Obviously.
Skip, I don't know if you remember this, but in the preseason game, Justin Anderson was playing with the Wizards. And Marcus Morris, he elbowed him. He elbowed him again in the face, and then he took the ball and bounced it off the top of his head. Now, is that playing the game the right way? Do you remember when he kneed Ben Simmons in the head?
I do.
Is that playing the game the right way? Because if we're in the court of law, and you I would eat him up on cross. Because if he got up on the stands and said he plays the game the right way, and I got this video, guess what I'm going to show the jury, Skip? And I'm going to ask him again, Mr. Morris, is this playing the game the right way? What do you think he's going to say? Mr. Morris, here you kneeing Ben Simmons in the head. Is this playing the game the right way? Because you said you play the game the right way.
So,
pattern of behavior.
You brought up Patrick Beverley.
Yes.
Right now, he is the #1 cheerleader and trash talker from the bench because he has not been able to play yet. They're saying he might be able to be available for the next game.
Right.
The point is, Patrick Beverley does not play what Luka is playing. He's not going to accept all the whining, all the this, and all the the subtle cheap shots from a guy who, to me, Luka is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Because the sheep's clothing is always, I don't know what's happening. And he said after the game, he's saying all this bad stuff to me.
Yeah, bad stuff.
Marcus is saying bad stuff to me. Is that okay with you guys? He's asking the reporters. Is this okay? Does this look like an intentional shot? If this was intentional, that's really bad. Well, was the swing on Reggie Jack, the back of his head, was that intentional? If so, that looks really bad to me. But Luka's like It's all okay. I'm happy. I'm happy. But Patrick Beverley was all over him, and finally Luka made a free throw, and as he was backpedaling up the court, you know what he did to Patrick? If we have, we might have this. I don't know. He did this. Yeah, here he is. He's giving him this. Patrick's all over him, and he can hear it because there are no fans, so you can hear everything.
That's the.
Yep. All over him, and here we go. See if you can make one free throw, Luka. You can lead the whole playoffs in missed free throws, and he's doing. Yeah, keep talking, right?
Yeah.
So they are going back and forth,
right?
And yet, last night on Luka, they obviously came out and said we are going to get even more physical with him. They roughed him up, they pushed him around, they beat on him, and to me, he under the onslaught last night, he had a long, hard night.
Yes.
Obviously, he did not have his co-star. He did not have Porzingis.
Yes.
I'm hoping for their sake Porzingis comes back.
Right.
I'm hoping for the sake of the series because I'm not writing these guys off.
Right.
Because of Luka.
Right.
He's obviously an extremely talented player.
Well, Skip, they played. I mean, obviously the Clippers said, like, look, we're going to try when we get an opportunity, we're going to get the ball out of his hands. We're going to make other people beat us.
Yep.
And early on, I mean, the game was pretty good. I mean, Skip, I went to shave, and
You went to shave?
I went to shave, Skip.
At night?
Yeah.
I shave in the morning.
No.
Silly me.
No.
You shave at night? What if it grows overnight?
Well,
You're going to have stubble?
Well, you ain't going to be able to see it.
Really? So your beard must grow very slowly.
No, it grows very fast. But I think by the time, if I shave it, 6:30, 7 o'clock, by the time we roll around here, 12 hours, I should be fine. Skip, so I go so they're up like, I think 15, 13, 15, 12, 16, something like that. Skip, I come back, and they're down. Like 33. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. What happened? Did I actually fall asleep or something, Skip? Come to find out, the Clippers go on a 19-0 run.
19-0.
And boom.
And I think it got worse after that. It got up to like, I don't know.
It was 32-5, I think.
Right, something like
but Skip, what happens is, you come down and you jack up a jump shot. They come down, make a three. You come down, jack up another. They come down and make a three. Well, it doesn't take long for the game to get out of hand because it seemed like early on they really couldn't miss.
Nope, they couldn't.
Because at one point they were 10 of 16 from the three. Well, if they're 10 of 16, you're 2 of 8.
Yeah.
Well, unless something dramatically happened, you hit a cold streak like the Rockets did.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for you to get back into the ball game.
So, I don't know if you noticed this guy, the quiet man, the quiet assassin.
Yeah.
For the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yeah,
He's got a commercial that says he's got now, because this is now Kawhi Town, that guy.
Oh,
did you notice what he did last night?
I noticed he missed 5 free throws.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I did, but I also noticed he only missed 7 shots because he hit 12 of 19 shots, and he has gotten lethal from mid-range turnaround.
How many shots did he miss?
Lethal.
How many shots did he miss?
12 of 19.
My guy missed 2 shots.
Really?
And one of them was a 29-foot three-pointer.
Your guy is playing the worst defensive team in the bubble and in basketball.
Hold on. So how good a defensive team is the Mavs?
They're a little better than the Trailblazers.
Are they really?
Yeah,
without Porzingis. They're better defensively without Porzingis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Kawhi Leonard just does work on anybody who tries to guard him. Hardaway tries. All of them.
What about my guy?
Kleba tries.
What about my guy?
Which guy?
You know my guy. I ain't got but one. You know who he is.
What about?
Say his name.
I don't know.
Hey, say his name.
We're going to say it like 8,000 times the rest of the day.
Do you remember what my guy did to your guy in the first game back? Or the seeding game? Do you remember?
You mean the first game of the year?
No.
When he scored 2 in the fourth quarter?
No, hold on.
And got blown out?
What's the record? We 2-2, right?
Yeah, 2-2.
We okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking because I don't want you to get too far ahead of yourself.
And by the way, Patrick Beverley, as I point out, is about to come back. And did you see that in the voting for Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah.
Patrick Beverley actually got 1 first-place vote.
And from a Clipper guy.
And he actually got 2 third-place votes, which is pretty great for a little 6-foot guy who blocked LeBron's shot on Christmas Day so skillfully that he knocked it up out of his hands, threw his hands back over his head, out of bounds, game over.
All I remember the last time they played, before the break, Patrick Beverley became unplayable in the fourth quarter. They tried to play him on LeBron James, but he became unplayable. A guy that got a vote for Defensive Player of the Year and 2 third-place votes became unplayable in a game of that magnitude.
He sets the defensive tone for this team. You said, conga line, Soul Train, blah, 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 blah. Watch what happens when he comes back. Watch the new urgency and edge with which they will play defense, sparked by
Skip,
the electricity of Patrick Beverley.
you do realize, although Luka shot 16 of 17, he went to the free throw line. He shot 14 free throw attempts. They're not fouling guys on jump shots. So where was he getting those at? In the paint. So again, Papa Karacha, conga line to the basket.
You know what I'd forgotten until they brought it up last night on the telecast? The Mavericks obviously had the #1 offensive rating in the history of basketball. Guess who was the second-rated offense in all of basketball this regular season?
Right.
It was the Clippers.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Whoa.
So best defensive team, second best offense. That means that equals NBA championship.
So let me ask you a question. So why you finishing in not the #1 seed?
Well, because our guys were gone most of the year.
You know what, Skip? I need y'all to stop this.
Yep.
I need you, and we're gonna talk about Doc a little later. I love Doc, but
do I.
you can't say, Skip, when you lose, we haven't played together, but when you win, we've had great ball movement. Whoa!
They're just figuring themselves out.
Man, stop it, Skip. Stop.
And by the way, underreported last night. Did you see that guy who played the whole second half? Do you remember that guy who hasn't been in the bubble until about 10 days ago?
Oh, Trez, yeah.
That guy Trez, the beast of the West, that guy. Did you see what he did? Look at those numbers he put up. How about that? How about 19 and 11 in 22 minutes? You like that?
Oh, did you see what my guy did? Hey, D.
Which guy?
So let me ask you a question.
Whew.
You want Trez? So you got Trez, or you got AD?
I got Trez coming off the bench because I got Big Zoo who's going to bother your guy.
He
always
stop and bother him how?
Bothers him.
What's he gonna do? Blow in his ear, thump his ear, or something? That's the only way he's gonna bother him. He can't bother that shot. Whiteside can't bother the shot. Nurkic.
This was a tour de force.
Skip.
You saw it.
Skip.
You were afraid of it.
First of all, AD played 18 minutes. LeBron played 28 minutes and shut it down. And we get a 135 spot.
Kawhi scored 32 in 29 minutes. You like that?
We scored 30 in 28 minutes.
Okay.
And Skip, and we took 12
I think mine's
shots.
better. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
You took 19 shots. Wow. We took 12.
We're playing a team, and you're playing some G League team.
Hold on, time out. If I'm not mistaken, it's not like the Mavs were the #2 seed. They're the 7th seed. So that means they're 1 seed better than the Trailblazers. So let's not pretend, Skip.
They just couldn't close, but boy, they can play 3.5 quarters.
So what they got to do with anything? So the Clippers. So the Blazers, they get their guys because, hold on, they can use that excuse. They didn't have Nurkic. Zach Collins has been in and out. They signed Melo late. They don't make any excuses.
Neither do the Clippers.
Oh, yeah, you do every time you lose.
They
You
just
talking
come
about
out and
your...
say, watch
Hold on,
this.
Skip. You just said because they haven't played together. They don't really know each other. So you are making excuses.
Doc does.
No, you and
He
Skip
just
Bayless.
states facts.
But Dame is not talking about Nurkic hadn't been there the whole year. He hadn't been talking about Zach Collins in and out of lineup. Now he's gone again. We signed Melo late. That's not what he does. But every time the Clippers lose, they haven't played together. When they win, man, look at that ball movement. Woo, look at the ball move.
I think they got to know each other last night.
Oh, just last night?
I think last night.
So
they took their name tags off because they say, "Oh yeah, you are Marcus Morris."
So did nobody know anybody when Luka hit that 39-foot bomb?
No.
Ain't nobody know nobody. What about game 2?
The more I think about that, that's like a 1,000,000,000 to 1
Ain't no
shot
billion
for
to
him.
1.
Yeah.
Ain't no billion to 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I've seen him do it too many times. He'll do it to you again.
The airball prince, Luka. Yeah. Good.
They say, hold on. I mean, I'm hearing he's a cross between Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Goat James. I say, what?
How could anybody have the audacity to put him in the same sentence with one of the deadliest shooters in the history of this game, Larry Bird?
He gonna improve.
This guy is one of the undeadliest
He
shooters.
gonna improve.
Okay.
By the time Luka 25, he'll have an MVP. By the time he's 24, he'll have an MVP.
Okay.
24.
By the time he's 24, he have one of them things.
Wow.
He needs to get an enforcer because if he's going to start it, somebody's going to finish it.
He ain't starting nothing.
Wolf in sheep's
He
clothing.
don't start
Just getting going here. Can Luka just be Luka? Do we have to label him
Yeah,
as
we gotta label
someone
him, yeah.
already? Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.